Dad had some idiot plan to send me to Catherine Gibbs Secretarial School in New York City so I could work my way through college. Sylvia Plath even mentioned that school in the bell jar as the destination for those perfectly made-up 50s girls in twin sets and pearl necklaces. Oh, God, I would die there. I simmered in silent fury. I would not be a secretary for anyone, or a stupid housewife. But I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, except read Plath and get out of school so I could write something that might mean something. There was a bang outside, and I jumped. I leaned toward the wall of glass beyond my desk in time to see a fading wisp of white smoke. I rolled my eyes. That little shit is messing with gunpowder again. My 14-year-old brother, Woodie, was in trouble. He was always getting in trouble. He joked about how he'd been paddled over 50 times in middle school. How was that possible? Slumping back in my chair, I pulled my skirt down with both hands so it covered my ass, a maneuver I practiced over and over all day as I changed classes at school. I glowered at any asshole who might look and whistle at my long legs. Thinking of them, I fumed. Pigs. I crossed my legs and checked to make sure I didn't have a run in my favorite black tights. I looked at the sheet of paper in my portable typewriter, splattered with whited-out corrections. My term paper on prison reform was due tomorrow. Oh, shit. I'd have to type that page over. 5 years before, when our family had moved from an old Victorian to the glass house, we'd all thought it would be so cool to live in a modern house that my dad designed. We didn't know then that we would live in a construction site for 2 years in the middle of 2 acres of bulldozed earth. We worked for 5 years, every weekend and all summer, first on the house and then landscaping our dad's elaborate gardens. At 58, my dad was barrel-chested, strong, and bald, dripping with sweat when he climbed down from his small bulldozer. He entertained visitors with his big, booming voice. "I'm having the time of my life, and my children are learning the value of good, hard work." We'd glance at each other in our dirty work clothes with tight smiles. Yeah, sure. I ignored my paper and my brother's suburban bombings of plastic model cars and snuck back to Plath. Her words were a relief. I felt very still and empty, the way the eye of a tornado must feel, moving dully along in the middle of the surrounding hullabaloo. While I read, I ran my fingers through my eyebrows and eyelashes until hairs fell out. Then I stuck them into wet globs of Elmer's white glue on a small square of cardboard. The glue set up clear, like petrified amber, but with traces of me caught for all eternity. Which was actually how I'd felt ever since Dad announced he would not allow me to go to college. "You are too immature to go to college, young lady. I won't waste money on you going to some hippie school where they shut down classes for anti-war protests." Months away from the end of senior year, when I'd thought I was escaping from home, Dad had somehow weaseled into taking control of my life again. It wasn't as bad as the previous winter, yet you never knew with him. Everything could always change on a dime. Last Christmas, in a crescendo of fury, he'd pulled me out of school because I disobeyed him and refused to break up with my black boyfriend, Alvin, after a year of dating. Alvin was my first boyfriend, a broad-shouldered, award-winning gymnast who was chased after by so many girls. We'd fallen for each other because of how we loved to read and talk about the Tibetan Book of the Dead, about the novels we read in English class, about life. And he made me laugh.